Happy Wednesday, Rock family. Happy Thanksgiving on the behalf of myself, Jim Michael, and the entire Rock family. We send our love, happy holidays to you, to every person who's tuning in. Won't you share this and tag somebody to this broadcast? Because I want to take a few minutes and in this presentation and title it, If Gratefulness Was a Person. You know, the Bible talks about in First Thessalonians, where Paul talked to the church of Thessalonica, he said that you are not always thankful for it, but he said you ought to be thankful in it. What an appropriate night to really talk about being thankful, being grateful. And I truly understand this from so many perspectives and so many levels. I want to take this moment to really express as a pastor from me to you how important it is to be thankful. And I know some of you all are in some tight seasons and some dark seasons, but I believe God can help you come through it. I've heard people say this before, that nobody but God can handle this situation. But I've never had or heard someone testify that not even God can handle this situation, which means there's no situation off track. There's no problem he cannot solve. There's no situation that he cannot help you tunnel through. I really want you to hear my heart tonight, because we're living in a fast-paced society. Our dreams are being distorted. Our goals are being diminished. Our authenticity of what is real is being demonized, and what is wrong is being praised. A lot of things just moving fast. Time is winding up. Technology is advancing. They're trying to put us in metal space and all these other places. But I want to challenge you to pause tonight. I mean, really pause tonight and think about how good God has been to you. I was sharing with somebody PPAs in the back. I said, man, this is the first time of my life that my spirit and my feet is in the same place, that I am absolutely present in the moment. And it's a great feeling to be thankful with unanswered questions. It's a great feeling to be thankful in the midst of not having all that I aspire to have. It's a great season to be thankful when people have left my life and people have died in my family. It's a great season to be thankful despite all that is going on. Oh my God, I wish we can try to change some problems out. I can give you some of mine and you can give me some of yours. All of us have them. But man, I decided that I'm going to be thankful. I decided I'm going to be grateful. I didn't decide to be numb to it. I did not decide to ignore it. I decided to feel my feelings and not filter my feelings. But I made a decision that God is still faithful. I want to challenge every person on every level, in every disposition you're facing, or whatever problem that you're in, or whatever dark cloud that's hanging over you. Start being thankful. I discovered that seasons are going to change, time going to change, blessings are going to come, materialistical things are going to decay. But you ought to have a praise in your heart. You ought to have a praise on your lips. Tonight in Bible study, I want to pray that you really tune in and continue to tune in. This past Monday night, we did a bake-off with Sister Sandra Robinson and Dickie Brennan. And for some of you all told me about the internet problem. And some of you all told me about the sound problem. And so I wanted to make sure that this presentation was perfected and rebroadcast tonight so you can see exactly why I'm so excited about Thanksgiving. I haven't been this excited about Thanksgiving in a long time, and it's just being around people, and the testimonies of those who was able to watch it has been overwhelming. About Pastor, man, you all really ignited me to be around my family and to bake pies or to make treats or to do something. Because every now and then, man, you got to shift your scenery and shift some things around so your mental can have a break, and because you have a gentle mental. I want to rebroadcast this tonight, so I want you to share this with somebody so they can tune in. And maybe tonight there's some revelation throughout the broadcast. Some singing was going on, and we sung at the end. And we had a whole bunch of fun. We planned it, but I didn't know it was going to turn out that well. I'm really excited about this Thanksgiving, and I want you to be excited about Thanksgiving as well. Come on, whatever you do, continue to tune in, share it with somebody. Let's go. happy holiday. Nah, I ain't gonna do that. I was almost about to mess up the whole holiday season. Hey, listen, welcome to Hope for Holidays. Love Thy Neighbor. I am so excited for several reasons. I come from a big family, not a poor family, but a big family. Around this time of year, we'll be around the house. My Aunt Glenda, I want to dedicate this moment to her. We'll bake some pies, her best pies. And she will always make sure we have conversations around pie eating or cakes, upside down cake, all kind of cakes. Unfortunately, she didn't teach me about the cakes nor the pies, but we're going to get to that in a few minutes. But I'm so excited for this moment. And also I'm excited because after a pandemic, hurricane, all of the various things that we are dealing with from an economic perspective, epidemic perspective, pandemic, diseases, man, everybody need to get along, get together around this time and just have some singing contests, pie baking contests that we all come and love one another. I'm so excited, so I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell everybody on Facebook, MySpace, Instagram. We still got MySpace? No, Instagram, everywhere. Tell them, grab them together, and come on and enjoy this moment. We have some amazing people who are going to be here with us tonight, people who we dearly love and people who love you from a community perspective as well as from the entrepreneur and business perspective. Get them. Instagram, go crazy. Y'all know how we do it on Instagram. Tag everybody, your grandmother, mama, everybody. Make sure they get on live tonight. I cannot wait to hear your comments and your questions and your fire emojis. Y'all know we do that fire emoji stuff. The next time you see me, I'm going to have some special guests with me. Let's go. Didn't I tell y'all that when you come back, I'm going to have some special people with me? I started off singing that song, Dig It.
Happy Holiday.
You was really singing this?
That's about all I can say.
Well, thank you, man. She ain't even tried. Ain't that something? You wasn't going to try? Come on, just one time. Just one time. Let's all of us do it. Happy Holiday. Don't worry about it. Hey, listen, thank you so very much. I really want to introduce these two individuals because they were instrumental in making sure that not only this concept came to pass, man, but I'm just gonna set the stage for a minute. I was having a conversation with Sister Sandra. She operated as our head PPA at our church, and we were just talking about the morale of the community, the morale of the church, the morale of just people around the country, coming through the pandemic and coming through the hurricane. And she was saying her mother, and she'll explain that to y'all in a few minutes, decorated every single year, but she just wasn't in the spirit.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, we should bake some pies, not knowing that she didn't know that I didn't know how to bake pie, but we just started it off. And then the next day, me and Dickie had breakfast, and some way, somehow, we got on the subject about employees. Their morale was down, and people are not just happy during this time. And I said, man, that's crazy. I was just talking to someone, and we having a bake-off, and he said, man, can I be a part of it? I said, absolutely. And so, Sister Sandra, let's start with you about what this means to you and how we came up with this concept.
Well, I want to say thank you. I appreciate it, because it's really heightened it for me this year.
For real?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see you blushing.
But the holidays was big in my household growing up, and I just, maybe because I don't have kids, I just steered away from it. Like, really don't get in the holiday spirit. So I was like, this year, I'm gonna do whatever. Buy candles, buy a tree, something to get me back in that spirit. So that's what I've been doing.
Music. Now listen.
Change the linen on my bed.
Come on.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you what kind of music. I have to ask you.
Old school.
Teddy Pendergrass.
Yeah.
He sung Christmas music.
No.
All right, don't
Luther.
worry about that. Luther. Ooh.
Harold Melvin, Blue Notes.
Oh, I don't know their song.
Well, that was Teddy Pendergrass.
Oh, yeah, in the beginning.
In the beginning, Harold Melvin.
Oh, my God. I don't know where to go from there. I was about to get ready to say.
Well, you're a baby.
That's right. I was about to say,
we
I'm
listened
about to
to
say India or something.
Jackson 5. That was #1 in our household.
I'm gonna tell y'all what we listen to. We listen to Young Jesus. I'm gonna say. I'm not sure he had Christmas music, but that's what we listen to. Right? Dickie, what you say, man? What this mean to you? And I'm interested in hearing about the story of your family, man.
Oh, well, I mean, thank you for including me. And, you know, this time of year for our family, I like Thanksgiving the best. I mean, Christmas, everybody's gifts, and it's Thanksgiving, we're all eating. We're sitting down at the table together. We're telling a bunch of lies. It's the same lies. The stories get better every year, and but it's family. It's friends. It's people who don't have a place to go. My dad was always inclusive, you know. So it was always people joining us, and you know, we wake up, we go to the restaurant because it's a busy day for us in the restaurant, and then between the dinner and lunch shift, we all meet at you know, my sister's house now, and there isn't one thing that comes from the restaurant. It's all recipes that my Aunt Ada made, and my Aunt Toulouse, and my Uncle Nick. I mean, oyster dressing, everything. We all make it at home, and we bring it, and it's the same recipes we've done for generations. So it's a special time, especially this year. Because like we're saying, man, we're all trying to figure out. I mean, to me, it's like Groundhog Day. You know, every day you wake up going, man, it's still Groundhog. But so it feels like we're coming out of it. Yeah. Great timing, and I'm ready to roll.
So I know we're gonna get to the ingredients of our pies. But what kind of pie we gonna show them from you? Not yet, but what kind of pie? I just wanna.
I have a cake.
Oh, a cake. Yeah, that's right.
A coconut pecan cake.
I'll explain mine in a few minutes. So what you have, Dick?
So I have a fig pecan pie. I mean, it's Thanksgiving, I think pecan pie, but I like adding the fig preserve instead of it being all Caro syrup. In fact, I don't use any corn syrup in the recipe. It's all Louisiana kind of products. But putting a little fig preserve in there kind of gives another layer of flavor.
So let me go ahead and tell you what I have going on, Dick. I got a peach Latisse pie. I'm just saying what's on the recipe, man. With bourbon caramel on top.
Yeah, I mean that's not fair.
Huh?
That's not fair.
But we said it was a competition, and I put some, you know, I put my foot in it. I have to say it because nobody else gonna say it, so I have to say it on my end.
Literally put this.
And I mean, it's pretty good, man. So, but I want to say thank you to both of you all for having the desire to make sure that from all of these different spaces that people are happy, man. You know, as a pastor, I just gotta say it. You know, these are the reason why I'm interested in things like this outside of the church, because people are largely impacted Monday through Saturday. Not just the 30 minutes or hour we have on Sunday mornings. And if I'm not concerned about it, I think I do a disservice to the people that I encourage and motivate on Sunday morning, that if they're running into these emotional, these different woes, and there's no outlet or no kind of therapeutic response to it, I think it's an injustice that we do from the pulpit. So I want to say thank you to y'all for being here with me, so y'all can cover my back, because they really thought I was gonna make that pie. But I did. Right, but we ain't talking about that right now. But they really, you know. But I want to say thank y'all so very much for what y'all do. Hey, listen, when we come back, we're gonna get into all of the knit and grit and the pecans and all of the other things that we have going on, so you can know exactly how we bake these pies. And maybe this year you have a new pie to bake for you and your family. We'll be right back. I was almost about to eat a pie. Then I thought about it. I can't get stuffed because I'm going to have to sing from a diaphragm in a few minutes. Hey, listen, we are so excited that we have a musical guest. Can't you believe that? We got somebody that can sing. Mr. Winton, American Idol finalist, R&B singer. He would not let me sing with him for some strange reason. I'm trying to be Casey and JoJo. You know what I mean? I was trying my best, but listen. Here he is right here, Mr. Winton. Let's give it up for him. Come on, everybody know it. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Tiny tots with their eyes on the glow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way, and he's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. And every mother's child is gonna spy to see if reindeer really know how to fly. And so I'm offering the simple phrase to kids from 1 to 92. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. I messed that all the way up. Man, we thank you, Winton, for providing that for us. Come on, let's get down to the get down now. Let's talk about the ingredients we put in our pies. Mm-hmm. Y'all know I bake mine. Yeah. You want to go first? We gentlemen.
Mine's come out the box. Duncan Hines.
Duncan. Oh my God! What?
I'm just letting you know.
What's on it?
You don't have to be a baker to bake something for the holidays. Great. Yeah, who made you a box?
Oh my God! That's good.
Didn't realize we were going to get a whooping from Duncan Hines tonight.
Yeah,
that's all right. Let me jump in here and explain to you what's in my pie. Well, go first, Dickie, because mine's gonna take a while. Because I gotta remember what I gotta pull up my.
Am I doing the whole demo?
Let's go demo. Let's go.
All right. So pecan pie. We all grew up loving pecan pie. It's got some twist in it. First thing, I've got a half a stick of butter, the real thing, and what I like to do is brown the butter. It gives it a whole that nutty kind of flavor or whatever. So I've done that. And what I want to do next, I don't know if you want to help me.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm going to put like a cup of sugar. Now this sugar comes from Franklin, Louisiana, where we have a sugar mill. So this is real raw sugar. And like I go get it, and my cup of coffee every morning, I put a bunch of sugar. I have 1 cup of sweet coffee. This is the real sugar, Louisiana.
Yeah.
So. What I'm trying to do is, I'll tell you, let's move over here, because what we want to do is melt this sugar.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm trying to cool down the butter because it's real hot. And what we're going to eventually do, we're going to get all these syrups in here. All right, so I don't believe in measuring cups because I'm not a baker, I'm a cook.
Yeah, I just like to pour too.
Can you give me about a half a cup of that?
Oh man, we can do that all day.
You can do that.
We can do that. Hold on, let me see. Okay. Squeeze that a little bit, Dickie.
Yeah. You know.
You
This
understand?
is what you gotta love about
That's
life.
about- that's about half.
A little more.
All right now. All right now. I'm heavy-handed now.
Okay.
All right, there we go. All right.
You gonna tell me to take some pies?
All right. All right. Next thing,
What we got?
you see that fig preserve?
Yeah.
Let me. We'll do a half a cup of that. That's about a half cup there. That's an easy one.
Yeah, that's right there, right?
Let's do that.
All right.
All right.
What we got?
Then we'll grab some of that honey.
Uh-huh.
Give me like a little tablespoon. Good tablespoon. That's really for flavoring.
Yeah.
Right now, there's the preserves and that syrup,
All right.
the butter.
Where we going?
All right. How about a little bourbon? When you told me you were going to do a peach pie and then you adding bourbon to it, I said, well, I can do that too.
I ain't know what I was talking about.
You know, give me. I definitely want some.
What you want?
I want some bourbon.
Well,
Can you give me a little?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
We're gonna cook the alcohol out.
Yeah. That's the thing. You can cook the alcohol.
It's
out?
all for flavor. No, this is
I didn't know that.
this alcohol free.
I didn't know that. It's alcohol free.
Yeah. So how about a shot and a half?
What is a shot?
About-
You gotta give me a quarter.
About 1 ounce, 1.5 ounces.
There you go. All right.
How's that?
That's good. I think.
All right.
All right.
You gotta always add a little salt.
All right.
I'm just gonna do like a
Pinch.
little teaspoon.
It was my. You do it like a salt baby. Turn it over. Go like this. Go like this. Come on, Dickie. Go like that. Yes. Thank you. All right. There we go.
Like a layup.
Yeah. Thank you. That's it.
All right. So we're getting this is the base. Now, typically in pecan pie, it's all Karo syrup, corn syrup, which we have none of that. And the last thing we're going to add is some eggs.
Before
we do that, I don't know. We're all trained when we're cooking professionally. You got to taste, make sure. Might need a little more salt, or might need a little more bourbon.
We're gonna look at the salt first. Let's see. That's good, baby. That's good. I don't even taste no alcohol.
You really can't taste it.
You can't, huh?
Ooh,
Thank you for agreeing.
you can't.
But we're going to put this in the oven for 50, 60 minutes, so it's going to get 350 degrees. So that's when the alcohol is going to burn off.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So you want to add, and you said it went from being real hot to it's not. So it's not going to cook the eggs. So now we can add the eggs into this cooler mixture.
So where you normally break your eggs at?
All right. Hard.
Yeah, I normally do that too. I just making sure, And you just throw it in the zinc like that?
Well, it looks like a garbage disposal.
Yeah.
Why don't we do that? Keep it
real
tight.
Throw it in there.
All right, now
All right, we're done.
we're just gonna mix this up.
All right, I got that. I got wrist game.
Now, with the pecans are gonna float or whatever. I like taking my time and placing them all upright.
Yeah.
But this is a demo, and you only gave me 5 minutes.
Yeah, and how long?
So you start building it like this. You can do your designs. You can get real artistic, but this is about 6 ounces of pecans. Put them in here.
Yeah. 10 minutes stop.
Done. What you think?
I think it's dope.
All right, let's put it.
Just throw that in there, like just
put
throw
this
it.
in here with
Pretty
the
good.
eggshells.
Yeah, pretty good.
And let's just pour that.
Let's see. You want to do the honors? Because I done did this a couple times.
Come on,
All right, I got
come
you.
on.
I got you.
Honor me, Bob.
I got you. Watch this.
Let's see if we put enough in that was really a cup and a half.
Oh, a shot, huh?
So now the next thing, at this level, you're gonna go put it in the oven. What I like to do is put it in a hotter oven first. So let's do a 400-degree oven, and we're gonna put it in there for about 10 minutes.
It's already on there.
It's gonna get it kind of rocking, and then I like turning it down to 325 for like another.
I'm definitely stuck over here.
50 type minutes.
Yeah.
Come on, can you pull that?
Oh, I got
I
that.
mean, that's
beautiful.
So this will go in the oven.
Yeah.
And here we got one that just finished.
Oh, my stars.
Look at J. Michael put all those pecans
Yep.
on there, man. Look at that.
Come on.
So, I mean, it's very fácil, no? I mean, it's a very easy recipe. And I love the beauty of putting it in, putting the figs in there. Just do a great little slice of pie. If you can find fresh figs, it's wonderful. These are a couple of some dried figs that come out of California. And then, don't we need ice cream?
Yeah, I'm gonna eat it.
All right. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I grew up eating Creole cream cheese. And I love that these guys, New Orleans Ice Cream, they make a Creole cream cheese ice cream. And so I'm gonna put this guy on here.
Yeah.
And maybe make it pretty or something. Let's try.
I always wonder like what y'all be doing like to make it,
stuff like that. You know,
don't you probably put parsley around the rim or something?
Yeah, you know, parsley everywhere.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious.
Parsley everywhere.
Yeah, like a leaf, tomato.
Give it a little, you know,
yeah, right.
give it a little color, little accent or something like that.
That look very pretty.
And you know,
Nice.
there are other things that I could do to this before I do it. I could heat this pot, and if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna put a little bit of butter and let it melt down, and it's gonna be nice and warm. Then I'll put the ice cream on top. That pan that I was making the sugar and everything, I could keep that pan going and put some other stuff in and drizzle some of that syrup and sauce over it. And get real sexy with this is basic. But this is what I love about cooking. It's about artisans being creative and evolving, you know, instead of it just being the old pecan pie. This is using the big preserves that you get, you know, everybody gives you the gift. In about 3 years into it, you got 20 of those things sitting in your pantry.
Yeah.
You got to move them. So that's what I ended up doing, is moving them in this old recipe. So
I'm gonna just say this, Dickie.
that's kind of what you'd asked me to do, a pecan pie. That's my pecan pie for the night. Next year it might be a little different, but that's the one for the night.
Let's give Dickie a big old. Mine's ain't coming out nothing like it.
Come on, man. Come on.
All mine will fall apart before I put it on the plate. I had some little hiccups.
You want to tell us about you?
That's it. I put peach. Oh yeah, it's my turn now. I don't have a demo because I don't know all the ingredients, but you can cover that back up. You don't gotta open it. Peaches. What I had? Cinnamon. What else I had? Vanilla. Had some egg, salt.
Brown sugar.
No ice cream. No leaves. Flour. But it was a nice recipe, and
Did you enjoy making it?
I really did enjoy baking it. I enjoyed baking it most because we had a whole bunch of people here having conversation. See, I just switched that just now. We had a whole bunch of people having a conversation about life and talking about our problems together and things of that nature. So it really wasn't even about the pie no more. You get what I'm saying? It was more about the conversation.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm going to do what I do. I'm going to stick to preaching. You going to do what you do. Continue to, do all of the other stuff and pulling stuff out the box. Yep. And Dickie, you going to
keep cooking.
Keep on cooking and being a chef. And I'm so excited that in a few seconds we're able to bring on another chef so y'all can talk chef talk, because that's none of my business, right? I stick to my side, right? No matter how.
I'm looking at that pie. I don't know what you're talking about.
Look. I do want you to do this for me, though. I do want you to do this for me. Which one? Which one you talking about?
I don't know. The upside down pie.
That's not an upside down pie. It's impossible to have an upside down pie.
I just want to know how you got it to do that.
Let me tell you what happened. No, listen. Let me tell you what happened. Now, this is the truth. I'm a man of the cloth. This is the truth. I did it, but when it came out, I put all that caramel on top of it. And then, like you said earlier, and I think this is a good thing for you to tell me that, because I never knew that, neither did I want to know it, but you told me. You said the reason why my pie dipped low to the floor and never came back up was why? What you had said, Dick?
Well, if you do it hot and it really starts to rise a lot, it's going to settle more. So what you can do is, if you're looking at it and it's starting to rise, cut the temperature down a little bit, and it'll stop it from continuing to rise, and it'll have less of a settlement. But I think that might need a little bit more filling in it.
And you know,
Yeah,
but you don't have to be
you might have created a new.
I'm about to tell you, you don't.
Could be the next creme brulee or something.
No, I'm about to tell you, you don't have to be a prophet to know that, because that's what happened. I didn't have enough ingredients, so I spread it out with the other pie.
Oh, okay.
You see what I'm
I
saying?
got you.
But thank you for knowing your stuff, because I was definitely about to try to pull a wool over your head and tell you
a little light on the filling there.
Oh, a little light on the I put something to
But you know what? To be honest, I mean, it's like things get created all the time by mistakes.
Come on now, now you're talking my talk.
You know, a creme brulee, they forgot to put the sugar in it, so they put it on top of the it was a caramel custard where the caramel's down below and it's liquid. But they forgot to add that, and they did the custard on the top. So the chef came back and he put that raw sugar that I had, he put on top and he tried to burn it to melt it, and it created a crust. What a great creation that we all enjoy. I think one of the arts is someone that makes great pastry pie crust.
Mistakes.
I mean, if it's a great crust, I love the salt. You know, so I mean, that's more crust. That's more crust than a normal pie. You know, you might have created like creme brulee here.
Thank you.
People want to eat the crust.
You have to be my friend.
Yeah,
because
I support you. You know.
Thank you so very much. I really feel like I just created magic.
I want you to keep cooking.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah, I think everybody should cook.
Oh man, all right, cool. When we be right back, we're gonna bring on another chef to help me out and Mr. Dickey to understand all these things. And she can bake, cook, do all this. I mean, everything. All right, we'll be right back.
Some exciting news this morning. For the last 5 years, I've been working on something, and it just became live today for pre-order, and that is my first book. I just want to see how y'all's going to clap. This is not a book for the church. This is a book from the church. Because if you don't know what's driving you, and if you don't know what you have been designed to do, you'll live your entire life empty. We call it empty accomplishments. And so Driven by Design is a book coupled with a workbook to help us practically find our balance and to help us really find out what drives us. This is the first thing that I've ever done for Jonathan Everett, and it feels so good. Amen.
Like I always tell people, a plan is as essential to life as air to breathing. Without a plan, we just wander through life with a lack of oxygen. You know, a blueprint pretty much is a plan drawing a scale, direction, and prioritization. This is one of the latest projects we're working on out here in New Orleans East, putting it together, take a look at the blueprints, and go over a few things.
I have a book coming out called Driven by Design, and I try my best to parallel the relationship between the blueprint and the builder, right? For me, I want to know what is that relationship between the builder and the blueprint, and what are some of those distinctive differences that people just don't understand or don't see? Because people see the house, but they don't know about the blueprint and the design.
Absolutely. Well, you have two different levels as it pertains to builders. You got proficient builders, and then you have efficient builders. And there's a big difference, and people don't realize that. You know, anybody can be efficient, but in order to be proficient, you need a scale. You need a plan that's drawing up.
Whoa.
And so that's
wait, y'all. Look, man, look.
Right, absolutely.
You know, so there's two ways to this thing.
That's right.
You can do it your way.
That's right.
Or you can do it the right way.
The right way.
So how often the builder have to come back and see the blueprint?
We look at the plans daily.
No, wait. Say it again.
Daily. We look at the plans daily, during the start of the day and at the end of the day.
Wow.
That's how essential plans are to building anything, if you want to do it the proper way.
Now I'm about to sound real smart.
Come
you
on.
telling people like, they got two kind of builders, efficient and proficient.
Yeah, you got it right on,
Thank you so much, Charlie,
All right,
man.
take care.
Appreciate
Thank you. All right.
Welcome back. I know y'all was still blown away by all of the cakes and pies. We done pulled out boxes and all of those type of things. Thank you for sticking with us. Don't forget to share it and tag somebody. But I'm happy now. because I'm about to sit here and learn some lattice, some different terminologies in the kitchen, right? And so we're excited to have Chef Lenore from Morrow's with us. Come on, everybody, let's give her a big old round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you for gracing us with your presence.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. I love the holidays. This is my favorite time of year. It's, for me, like you all say, it's all about togetherness and community, family, extended family and friends. I love to entertain. I love company. So this is my favorite time of year.
Wow. This have to be an interesting conversation between you and Dickie concerning culture, concerning the culinary art. And I believe that both of you all love it so passionately. And so I'm a person who is very analytical and inquisitive concerning different genres and careers and cultures, right? And so from y'all perspective, y'all see different people, different dynamics, different families, happy, sad, anniversaries. Y'all cater to them on so many different levels. The pandemic has happened, hurricane has happened. Like how y'all handle that, and y'all still have to put y'all heart, sweat, and tears into the thing that y'all love. Come on, talk to us.
It hasn't been easy, but I think that the one thing that the gratification I get out of doing this is making people smile, making people feel like they've just visited their grandmother's house, bringing back nostalgia, when they bite into my mac and cheese, or just feeling the love that comes out of my kitchen, because I do pour my heart and soul into it, as Mr. Brennan does as well. And it's we put our heart into this. So coming off of a pandemic, and he was saying earlier that it's feeling like it's getting back to normal. We hope that we can add our contribution to getting things back to normal, getting community back together, getting our families together, and enjoying the spreads as we enjoy. It brings me back to my childhood, where Granny cooked 12 pies and 15 cakes, because we'd have 60 family members over.
Wow.
Oh yeah, a big spread.
Wow.
Yes, we do it so big.
Wow. Dickie, how's it been for you with this pandemic and all of these other things? I know it had to be tough when they tell you to stay away from people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When your business is attracting people.
I mean, we, thank goodness we got support from the government. Restaurants do not have big cash flow reserves, so I mean, to get through 5 weeks of a hurricane is one thing, but for to be years of, not being able to run your business, it's been a real struggle for the industry. But you keep saying culture, and I mean, I can't think of a city, and I've been blessed that I've lived in several cities. We've got the best culture.
Yeah.
And, we're sitting here, we're doing food, we're listening to music, and it's people.
Yeah.
We're a big small town. We all know each other. We hang out together, and I love, the saying, and other people in other cities don't get it, but they say, New Orleanians go to eat lunch so they can figure out where they're going to eat dinner.
That's true.
I mean, it's our culture, and there's no better time for us to connect, get to know each other, whatever, is when we're sitting down sharing food.
Yeah.
And I love it. So I mean, to be able to have the restaurant open again and greet people and see them coming in to create the memories of a graduation or birthday or anniversaries. I mean, that's the part we love.
Yeah.
So it's starting to feel good.
Yeah.
And glad we're making some progress.
I want to say thank you all both for helping us in the fight of helping our community during storms, pandemic, and all those things, because it takes a big person with the capacity to love people to step out there and help them when they're in need and take the lead and the charge to really help them. And I've watched both of y'all help on whatever level that was to your community and to your people, and I want to say thank you for that. I think all of us should really put our hands together. Chef, I have to ask you now, what's your favorite dish at Morrow's and your favorite dish personally? And come on, give me that pie.
My favorite dish is our bibimbap, which is the rice bowl. It brings me back to Korea. It brings me back to my youth, when we took everything out of the refrigerator, in a bowl of rice and some spicy paste, and it's basically what I relate to jambalaya as. So, you know, take it gumbo, jambalaya.
Wow.
So I remember those times in Korea, you know, you just take everything out and make a dish, and you bite into it, and it just has this, you know, great memory, this treasure.
Hold on, say what you call that dish again? What?
Bibimbap.
I'm not even about to try. I'm about try it, Dickie. Go ahead, try it, Dickie.
And try it. I mean,
Man, look, my mother's from St. Bernard, my dad's from the Irish Channel. I can't speak worth anything, you know. The last thing I'm going to do is try to talk.
Wow, so they have the same kind of depth as the gumbo. And explain that story, Dickie, about gumbo, because I think a lot of people don't really understand the concept of gumbo.
But, you know, even before that, I mean, as our family got to where we could afford to go travel and see, you know, and that's you and I's conversation. I mean, my family was a bunch of Irishmen running a French restaurant. Makes no sense. But we had some great mentors, and that's what you and I are all about. You know, how can we mentor the next generation to where they can go live dreams? But when we would travel, and if we were in Asia, when we come back, we want to creolize everything. It's the same dish, but we're using a Creole tomato that's growing downriver. You know, we're using everything that's local foods, and you know, and you can add some different spices, but I love what you're doing with that. You know, I mean, we grow rice. I mean, I love popcorn rice. You know, it's a Louisiana rice, and it's so I mean, it's so fun to continue to evolve. I don't like changing for the sake of change, but I think as long as you're active doing, it's like running your business. You should evolve the business.
Wow.
And so that's the fun part of cooking is we can always evolve.
we can always
What's
connect.
New Orleans food?
We can always connect with whether it's Asian food, Creole food, Italian food, Irish food. You know, we can always connect. There's always a common denominator, and that's what I love about food and people. You know, I love New Orleans. I wouldn't live anywhere else. I'm a transplant. I'd be considered a transplant, but this is home to me.
I'm gonna tell you the truth.
I fit right in.
I don't care where I go. It just ain't the same.
No, it's not.
And I try to eat food on purpose, like the shrimp and grits, and you know, talk crazy to them after I finish. And I don't supposed to be doing that, but it's just, I just know they don't have no. The guy was telling me they had charbon oysters and all that. And I was like, come on, let's try this.
What city?
Where I was, Seattle. It was horrible.
It's not the same.
Yeah,
You don't have that Gulf.
He said they had butter, but I was like,
Yeah.
this ain't working. Crab cake's not our specialty, but we do a very great job
We do.
with the crab cake from the blue state of Maryland.
Like
But
you said, we Creole.
yeah, we creolize it, but it's never the same. We just have that touch.
Yeah, no.
Come on, you gotta say it like that.
Gumbo's a dish, but
Yeah.
I mean, I use it to describe New Orleans and our community, you know, because we've got all these different people that came to the city, you know, different times, different influences. And the other thing is, the natural ingredients we have. I mean, Mouth Mississippi River is the most fertile fish grounds in the world. If you're into wanting to eat wild caught, sustainable seafood that everybody in California eats, they've fished those fisheries out. The biggest supply of fresh, sustainable seafood is right here at the mouth of the Mississippi River. So, I mean, you know, we're blessed with these ingredients. We grow year round. I mean, we can farm, we can, you know, crabs are going out of season, crawfish are coming in season. So, I mean, we've got this wonderful ingredients with all these different people that are turning it, you know, jambalaya, you know, was a Spanish paella. Now you're putting your influence on it, you know, and we'll enjoy it in New Orleans, and it just keeps growing. And that's
the beauty of this place.
It really is. I mean, we're very unique. And look, it's been good to my family.
Yeah.
And we need to leave it better than we found it.
Yeah.
You know, and we got a lot of work to do.
That's what your father told you. Right?
That was it. He was very blessed. An Irishman running a bar that all of a sudden opened a French restaurant in a city full of French restaurants. He lived the American dream. We've been very fortunate, but it's all about leaving it better than you found it. And that's why we've all connected, and that's why I admire this lady so much.
Wow.
For what she does.
And that's all. Get the flowers. Get the flowers.
That's right. That's right.
I have to ask both of y'all. Will you all see the culinary arts, not just in our city, but in our country in the next couple of years? The impact that we believe it could continue to make on our world.
It's going to continue to evolve as we've got new generations coming into the field. They're going to take this thing to other levels that we didn't fathom. I find that the millennial generation, they're so creative and innovative and just so ambitious. My son is so much more ambitious than I ever imagined. He's a lot like me, but he's me on steroids. It's ridiculous to see, but I'm so very proud of that generation. And then Generation Z, is it Z? They're going to be amazing as well. I mean, with the technology that's available,
Oh my God.
culinary industry is going to be amazing. It's just going to, break ceilings, and it's going to be awesome.
I believe it is. Dick?
Yeah, I mean, my dream for New Orleans, for the next generations, all these resources I talked about we have, and we do commodity farming, and we don't value enhance any of the products. So if we can educate this next generation, and we've created this institute called NOCI, New Orleans Culinary House, and right now the initial programs are to give people the skills to go be a chef. But the second step is to bring in people that can teach you how to make cheese or to preserve, to where we go when the boat's catching all this seafood and you got a byproduct. In Europe, they turn those byproducts, they'll pickle it, they'll put it in a little jar. That's a whole new company. That's someone manufactures it. And I think this, we're so into food here. But if we can bring in teachers that can teach the next generation how to do these things and create these products instead of it coming from Europe, why isn't it coming out of New Orleans?
Wow.
So, and because our profession's tough. It's, cooking, and you're not making a lot of money, and it's tough. So I just want to see for people that they can have an avenue and a path to go to another level and become an entrepreneur and a business owner because they started up a product company or something to do with this natural, beautiful thing we have.
Wow. So I got to say thank you to both of you all. This is my first time ever talking to two chefs at one time. And not that I had any cooking lesson questions or nothing like that, but I really adore the mere fact that you all are not just talking from a profitable perspective, but the passion that I hear in your voices about what you all love to do every single day. So let's give it up for Miss Chef Lenore and Dick and Brennan. Hey, listen, Royce, in a few seconds, we're going to talk to our state representative, Royce Duplessis, and really start talking about what it is our state, Louisiana, has to offer for many people, millennials, entrepreneurs, and many other individuals to help us propel this state to where it needs to be. All right? We'll be right back.
That vision, without having a broader panoramic view of your life, it's impossible to be heading in the right direction.
Pastor Everett.
What's up, man?
Doing great.
Yeah.
So what inspired you to do this book, Driven by Design?
I specifically was compelled to write this book for two demographics of people, and that is the people who walk around purposeless. Number two is for the people who says, I've been walking in purpose, but when you meet the global disaster, and when you find yourself in a space that you never found yourself in, like, how do I go back and find my rhythm? How do I get back into the know? How do I get back on point? You got to go back to that design, that blueprint.
Which leads us to being in this bare bones space.
Exactly.
It's kind of symbolic to where, like you said, everybody's been taking out the time to assess where they are, kind of getting back down to the nitty gritty and building themselves back up.
Yeah.
Talk about a lot of the terminologies you use specifically with building a house, how you use that to illustrate your points.
One of the things that I use big, and we don't hear this too much in society, in church, that word is integrity, right? And I use that word integrity from a perspective of being a protective measure of the purpose that God has put in your life and my life. And so whenever we start talking about framework, you see these studs and it protects it from the element, whatever they put in this building have value, right? And people work for it, there's sweat equity in it, years. Another part of the book that I tried to put a lot of emphasis on is the blueprint, right? And to talk about, I remember when I was in Avondale, when I first got there, they was making me read the blueprint upside down. And I was like, man, that's crazy, right? And then finally, when it was time to put the ship in the water, they flipped the entire ship over. And I was like, that's crazy, right? Okay. And it taught me a valuable lesson that sometimes you might not see the conclusion, but if you follow the blueprint perfectly, that it always makes sense later, right? And so that was like, oh, that's so the huge. Blueprint do have power, right? Yeah.
Talk about the importance of having a vision moving forward with whatever you want to do.
A lot of people have these misunderstandings and have redefined vision, passion, purpose, and I'm gonna use those terminologies a lot, that they oftentimes think that passion is something that's just that automatically comes, right? They think that when you wake up in the morning, you're gonna be passionate about going to work. When you wake up in the morning, you're gonna be passionate about going to take your child to daycare and all that type of stuff. If you don't have vision, right? Let's talk Bible a little bit. People without vision, they perish. Likewise, vision without people, it perishes.
And ultimately, if your vision is not about helping other people beyond yourself, you automatically are starting in the wrong
It have to be bigger. It have to be bigger than you, because God will never give us a vision that's only about us. It's always bigger than us. He will always give a vision that outweighs our budget, and he will always give us a vision that will outlast us.
What, if anything, what are you hoping that people get out of Driven by Design?
My ultimate passion for this book is for people to get clarity. I pray this book is a checkpoint for people to have permission to live. Just like we get permits to occupy the space, permits to build. I want this book to give people permission to hope again and have permission to restart their life, redesign it, reconstruct it, and you can pick yourself up and keep going like I did many times. And so that's my prayer.
Pastor Jonathan Everett, thank you so much for talking about this book coming soon, Driven by Design. I'm Sherman DeSalle, your local reporter here in New Orleans. Have a good one.
Look, I just want to jump right into this. We have State Representative Royce Duplessis. Man, thank you for stopping by at the bake-off. It really wasn't a bake-off because Dick had an advantage. He was being modest.
Y'all going off with some bacon, I can tell you that. I mean, it's a lot going off right here.
Yeah, he was being very modest. I'm going to get a pastor a layup,
right?
Things of that nature. But, man, thank you so very much, man.
No, thank you for having me. Thank you
for stopping by. And I really wanted to sit and really kind of dig into the condition of Louisiana from your perspective. And, you know, me and you talk about this all the time, that many people see things from, you know, the ground, and they make their opinions and they come up with all of these different theories and things of that nature. But you being at the table, in the know, in the conversations, and so a person like Dickie, who's a successful business person, a person like myself, who's a pastor community liaison, you know, how the state of Louisiana going, and what are some of the exciting things that we are looking forward to as a state? And tell us, man.
Well, I think in many ways, I should say, you know, Louisiana is at a crossroads. But I think we're at the crossroads of making that positive shift. Mm-hmm. And I'm not just saying that. I really believe that. You know, nationally, we've all gone through something that we've never experienced before over these past 2 years. And we're finally at that point now where we don't just see the light at the end of the tunnel. I mean, it's really opening up, and we're moving in that direction. We have no shortage of challenges across this state. You know, we just got our census data back, and we didn't grow a whole lot, but we didn't lose a whole lot of population either.
Yeah, I was concerned about that.
Yeah, what we did see was the majority of the shift in terms of the shift in population was folks left North Louisiana, and the area that we're in now, Southeast Louisiana, gained population, which shows that people are really coming to this area. So that's a good thing for New Orleans in particular, but I know your question is more about statewide. We have all kinds of issues. We have urban issues, we got rural issues. You know, we have issues affecting all sorts of communities, but you know, one of the good things is that we start to see a rebound in the number of events that are happening. You know, Dickie and I were just kind of talking about some of the challenges that folks in his businesses have been faced with, and you know, they have been weathering the storm and really pushing through, and we're grateful for businesses that have been able to make it through. Unfortunately, many have not been, but it's also taught us to use our ingenuity, to lean on one another a little bit more, and to figure out ways to come together. So I'm hopeful for what the future holds. Again, we have Bayou Classic this weekend. We're looking forward to that. something we didn't have last year.
Right,
It was
right,
a Shreveport. So to
right.
get that back, I think that's going to be a good shot in the arm. Then we're going to be looking at Sugar Bowl.
Yeah.
And we're going to be looking at NCAA Final Four. And I expect that we're going to have a great Mardi Gras. I think these are all great things. But in the midst of all of that, it's not about just returning to the old.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's about getting back to some sense of normalcy.
Yeah.
But learning from our mistakes.
Yeah.
And while we have to continue to invest in our industries like tourism, we also have to use them as opportunities to build and grow new industries while we continue to lift up our industries that have kept us alive for so long.
You know, I've been very curious about the tourism department. Me and Dickie talk about it.
Yep.
And to be honest with you, I haven't looked into it to where I see if it has grown or impacted our city. I would say this. It was one year, I'm not sure if it was 2 years or 3 years ago, what Tennessee had they was beating us like about 4 or 5 million people more in tourism that year. And to be honest with you, I flew to Nashville because I wanted to literally see how in the world they had that many tourists that came in town. And I'd say maybe an attraction came and I forgot or I didn't see it. And to my demise, it wasn't, great music, great city, great location. Dickie, you're in the business industry and tourism is under your belt as well. Where you see us at and coming back, like Roy said, it should be better. I think all of our returns are going to be greater because people are anxious to come back to the city. But from what you're looking at?
I mean, I think tourism is important, and I mean, around the world. I mean, a country like France, it survives on tourism. But where I want to see and I want to support our leaders is to come up with a plan. I mean, for a municipal auditorium to be sitting there empty for all these years, and when we do something that's going to enhance the tourism, at the same time, let's create education. Why don't we have a music institute in New Orleans, Louisiana, with professors? Stephen Ambrose was a history professor at UNO, and because of him working on a movie with Saving Private Ryan, Tom Hanks, we have an international World War II museum here.
Yeah.
Let's just say we go find the best music licensing attorney in America and say, come teach at Southern Law School. Come teach at one of our law schools. Because when I look at the talent in the music world, it parallels like the rest of the world that I've grown up in.
Yeah.
Because Paul Prudhomme and Emeril Lagasse came out of one restaurant in New Orleans, Commander's Palace.
Yeah.
They were educated.
Yeah.
Culinary Institute of America. Now we have this Noki Institute in New Orleans to help train. But when I look at these great musicians and they get this opportunity to go around the world, not internationally, a trombone shorty or whatever. I mean, how many guys are in the band?
Well, yeah.
And this is just, I could be way off base, but I'm like, so a trombone's going to make it. But these other men, women that are with them, going around, they're getting this incredible exposure. I mean, the traveling seat. But what I hate is these people come back, and after whatever the run is, then they have to play a gig the rest of their life.
Yeah.
These men and women, have all this exposure, everything, and they come back and they're playing gigs. If they came back and we had an institute here with teachers,
Wow.
and they could go to night school, and the next thing you know, they could become an agent. They could become a music executive. Because in New Orleans, we've created a business environment instead of it being in Nashville,
Yeah.
Austin.
Yeah.
Why isn't it in New Orleans?
Yeah.
And these men and women become executives and business people instead of playing. I mean, I don't like the gig economy
Yeah.
where we stop.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to see people become executives.
And just to build on Dickie's point about the music, the same thing could also be said about food.
Yeah.
Totally.
And you've already made that point about how we have to figure out a way to connect New Orleans in its efforts to be a tech hub, competing with cities like San Francisco and Austin, and blend that with our culinary expertise and all that we offer there. And we just saw recently, within the past 3 to 4 months, 2 locally grown companies sell one for about $700 million, another one for $1 billion here right out of New Orleans.
Right.
So that's a huge signal to the rest of the world that we have something serious to offer. So just like we should be thinking about how we can find business opportunities in music, we can do the same thing in the culinary arts, because these are things that we're naturally good at. Yeah.
What are some of the areas that we are not taking advantage of, statewide, citywide, career-wise? Because social media have a lot of influence over people, and they kind of go by trends, right? And that's a great thing, and I applaud it. But then sometimes course correction is not always the best practice for some people. Just because they was doing a certain thing and it failed doesn't mean that the thing was wrong. It was just probably at the wrong time, right? But there are some shallow areas in our city or our infrastructure that if these people would take advantage of it, they'll find these careers or these opportunities very good.
We have to go back to education. I mean, I think education is crucial, whether that be our traditional schools, public schools, or your more niche opportunities like the Nokis, and just kind of figuring out non-traditional paths that young people may want to go with to find a career. But we have to do better in terms of education. There's a whole lot that I could talk about there, from teacher pay to just the whole setup and structure that we have, but I am personally believing that if we don't do more in education, we're going to continue to have challenges. Yeah.
We always say education. For me, I've been saying education of the future. I mean, the system's antiquated,
right.
For young kids.
Yep.
Noki Delgado has a program, and it's a 100-year-old culinary program, and it's a 2-year program. And the graduation rate's 4%.
Wow.
And so industry started Noki, and our reason is, let's give somebody the opportunity to get a formal education, and it's a 20-week program, and you get more skill in the 20 weeks than you do in the old program. But the old program gives you take reading, writing, and arithmetic you took in high school, so at the end of the day you have a college degree, an associate degree. But I don't think people want this associate degree because they're dropping out because they don't want to spend a year taking English and math. They want to get skill. And then, for all these years, this talent in our kitchens, so many of these men and women, and they're with me, and I'm trying to encourage them and say, come, go to the next level, be the manager, be a chef, go live your dream or whatever. They stay here because they don't have the language.
Wow.
I've got this beautiful man that works with me. He's made hollandaise sauce 1 million times, and he's never gone past being the lead, like running the breakfast shift. He doesn't want the man. And I really believe it's a lack of confidence, because we get these young 20-something-year-olds that go to some culinary school, and they come to New Orleans because they want to cook here. And they come in wanting a management position, but they can talk the language. They can say, well, hollandaise is an emulsification, and when you add fat with an acid, the egg with the vinegar, it'll emulsify, and it'll be a cream sauce instead of a broken sauce. And the guy's made hollandaise 20 times. But he's got confidence because someone gave him an education. So this is where Noki, the next level at Noki is to take all these people in these restaurants and let them come at nighttime. Instead of going into the lab and learn how to make hollandaise, bullshit, he knows how to make. They're gonna sit down with these and say, let's open the book.
Yeah.
And I really hope that when we give them that quick, efficient type of education, that person all of a sudden, within the next year, is gonna go, I wanna be the chef now.
Yeah.
I know the lane. I'm not intimidated, and I'm confident. And I think that's the opportunity we miss in New Orleans, is putting people on paths where they can really, go to the next level.
Yeah.
And we just stay like this, and so I think Noki's a great example of how we can do that for one section. I think the music industry is huge for us to be able to take people to the next level. We just have to create a great institute.
That's right.
Wow, I hear the passion in y'all voice. Y'all voice very much about the educational perspective, and I would say that the exposure to a greater life and the education and the empowerment and all those things are definitely necessary for us to become a better New Orleans. And we always talk about that we don't want to do something just good for our city. We're really trying to put together something great for our city, right? Because, you know, we talk about this all the time, that our tourists love to come here, but the residents hate to live here, right? And we're trying to switch that around, not switch it around per se, but the residents ought to love where they live. And that's our aim and our objective. And that's one of the areas that we have to start working on, man.
And I think one of the best opportunities in this city is for a group to come together and focus on Treme. I mean, that is the most important historically neighborhood, the first African American neighborhood in America. It's there. We've got this overpass going. I mean, it should be the greatest neighborhood in this city.
Yeah.
You know, we've done all this work where everybody, they want to go up Magazine Street or whatever.
Right.
And that overpass, you know, I travel and I see where they've turned a lot of these trains, whatever, go through into greenways or something else.
Right.
If we don't knock it down, I mean, let's knock it down, or if we don't knock it down, turn it into something. I mean, it's a roof. It's something to attach whatever to. We should have the greatest farmers market.
Yep.
And I'm big in the community, farming.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of seniors, you know, and you got the property next to you, do a little, give them a place where they can get out, you know, and it's eating healthy foods, and it's cooking, you know, gumbos the herbs, and, and just with great music, and just show the culture of Treme.
That's right.
I mean, my God, you got so many assets.
Right.
That's right.
It's just pulling together. And I'd hate it to be a big developer.
Yeah.
Right.
I think the greatest thing would be that it would be people in this city have the opportunities to step up, you know, and be that business owner. And this is where we're saying we got to mentor each other, and show each other. You know, I'd love nothing better than support someone to do the greatest soul food restaurant. You know, I mean, we should have 10 more Dookie Chases.
You
know, and I'd be more than happy to I'd enjoy helping people.
That's right.
Be able to become a business owner, and like I'm saying, for my chef to go, I'm gonna quit being the breakfast cook. I want to be a chef. I want to own a restaurant.
You know, I think our greatest asset is our people. Investing in them. You know, to Dickie's point about Treme, you know, and to your earlier question about where we are, you know, the federal infrastructure bill just got passed, and while it was not at the amount in which it was initially talked about or planned, corridors like the one that cut through the neighborhood of Treme back in the 60s, that overpass, and how it impacted that community are envisioned in terms of being addressed by this new money that we're going to be getting. So we have our former congressperson who's now a senior advisor in the administration. We have a former mayor who's now going to be charged with overseeing the implementation of over $1 trillion. Louisiana is set to see about $6 billion. And I've been at the table advocating. In fact, I have a meeting tomorrow with the Secretary of Transportation for Louisiana to discuss how we can get some of that money to address Treme in particular, from St. Bernard all the way to Canal Street along that Claiborne corridor, investing in the community to connect both sides. And not whether it comes down or whether we work to just try to enhance and beautify what's currently there. We have so much opportunity. It's such a rich community with its people, with its tradition, and with its history. I think we have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
To both of y'all point, that's to people is our best asset. That's how me and Dickie start conversating, supporting somebody else in our efforts to support them. Then we started having this conversation merely about people and empowering and helping our people, and how could we not just mentor each other, but how could we start mentoring other people? Because exposure, I believe, is the best currency, right?
That's right.
And that's the thing that really gets us over the edge. Man, thank you, Raj.
No, thank you. Always.
How was the pies though? Go on and tell everybody how them pies was.
I just wish
Let's
I could eat more. You know,
let's not talk about the pecan first, but talk about the mother pies over there.
They were outstanding. I
Thank
mean,
you, man.
I'm gonna have to do something about all of these calories and all of these sweets. But I think I'm ready. I'm ready for the holidays. They were outstanding. You know, I mean, look, this is just so metaphoric, right? You talk about how we make our city better in the ingredients that we already starting with. You know, it's just all about how we put it together.
How we put it
timing, right? You know, getting that oven right.
Yeah.
And they say, you know, we can't have too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
You know, I want to play my role, and I know that's not to be doing what y'all doing in the kitchen.
Well, I don't know your point over here.
But these cakes were outstanding. These pies were outstanding, and I just appreciate your leadership.
Oh man,
appreciate your leadership. And thank y'all for having me.
Man, look, we're gonna go to commercial, right? And when we come back, all of us gonna sing together.
Let's do it.
Y'all have a song in mind though?
Let's go back to Donny Hathaway. That's always a hit. This Christmas.
I just told you Young Jesus was playing in the house. I don't know who died it. Who we have? Who?
Oh, we can bring the Temptations.
Come on, let's all go over there and sing along, man. Come on, let's do this. We'd like to thank Dickie Brennan. Come on, let's give him a big round of applause. Miss Sandra Robinson, let's give Sandra Robinson a round of applause. State Representative Royce Duplessis, let's give him a round of applause. The man himself, the voice that's going to be on The Voice, Mr. Winton, a round of applause. And Chef Lenora, let's give her a big round of applause. To every person who made this come together, but I did want to buy these two gifts because this is probably the first holiday in a long time that I really feel like it's a holiday, right? It's not running. I keep telling people it's the first holiday where my spirit and my feet is in the same place, right? Where I'm actually present in the moment. So I wanted to give this to Sister Robinson for bringing it up and kind of pushing that to me. And Mr. Dickey, thank you, man, for really honestly, you know, y'all kind of made me want to spread some love around the holidays. Because normally around this time, I just give people money, go about my business, be in another country somewhere. But we thank God for everybody, to all of the techs, the staff, JT, Johnny, everybody. Brother Percy, you want to end us? You want to end us in prayer or something, or dance? Or?
But I'm not. Annually, right?
Yeah, annually. Yeah, annually. Yeah, I had to start it all some kind of way. Hey, listen, y'all have an amazing night, and I pray this holiday be the best holiday that you can possibly have. Bake some pies, man. Let's go.
All right.